Managing Director.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon from Luxembourg. As you heard, we had a full agenda in the Eurogroup today. I will add remarks on only two items. First, on banking union. Obviously, we have made significant progress the last few years on developing the banking union. Early next year, the ESM will provide the backstop to the SRF, so that is the next important step towards completing banking union, but it's not enough. And work on all the missing elements that was discussed today in the Eurogroup needs to progress at full speed and in parallel. And I'm very glad that we do have a work plan now how to do that. This is, I think, a promising way forward to really complete banking union. And let me add that that banks themselves are calling for a single market in banking. A single market in banking, that would be the banking union. And that would really help banks to play the role they need to play and they want to play in the recovery. Also, it would help banks to gain strength compared to their American and Asian competitors. On the international meetings, there were lots of video calls last week with IMF and other participants, and it was very good to hear the fairly favorable views about Europe. The president talked about optimism, I think, based on the decisions taken last year. Financial markets take the same view. They anticipate a considerable rebound once the vaccine rollout has cleared the recent hurdles. I would also reject the perception that Europe is falling behind the US that I sometimes hear. When we look at the most recent IMF forecast, growth in the US this year will indeed be higher than in Europe. But the same IMF projection shows higher growth in Europe next year in 2022 than in the US. In addition, one should not forget that comparing GDP growth on a per capita basis is a more appropriate comparison because there are different demographic developments in Europe and the US, an old story. And on a per capita basis, GDP growth in Europe and US is traditionally very similar. Thank you very much.